don't know. That's something we find out in the process of trying to have a code where a code just means a way of doing things, a set way of doing things that will lead us to find these things out by trial and error. In other words, we ask them, ask for what should be given, accept what is granted, and compensate for the difference. Compensate for the difference between what? Between what you asked for and what you got. Now, you're always asking for justice. You ask the white supremacists, produce justice, which means guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help. Now, justice does not exist anywhere on the planet. You can't have white supremacy and justice on this planet anywhere at the same time. It's impossible. Can't be done. There's no such thing as justice being in one place and not being in another place. It's got to be everywhere, otherwise it isn't justice. I'm not the first person that said that. Martin Luther King said that, and many others before him probably. There's no such thing as, you're just chopping up justice and say, well, we can give this person justice, but this person over here is not going to get it. Well, that's not justice. Justice has to be across the board, meaning, but it didn't have a definition, and not one that I could accept. When I looked in dictionaries, I didn't see a definition for justice that made sense. So I asked someone in 1994, what is justice? And they didn't give me an answer, and then I looked at a television program where there was, I think it was Jerry Spence, being interviewed by Larry King, and they were discussing the word justice. And lawyer Jerry Spence said, well, justice doesn't have a definition. And Larry King agreed. Now, I had never even thought about it in that context before, because I think we become familiar with words, using words, and we don't pay attention to the exact definition of those words. That's why I tried to emphasize the use of paying attention to words and have a word guide.
Yes.
So I looked in several dictionaries. I didn't like what I saw. So I asked another lawyer, I said, what exactly is justice? What's the definition of justice? How do you know when you got it? And he said, justice is whatever the Supreme Court says it is. And I said, that's the definition of justice? He said, as far as I know as a lawyer. He said, it's just what somebody says it is. And so that was not satisfactory to me.
Yes,
so
sir.
I tried to come up with what I call a better definition, a compensatory definition that the dictionary didn't have, the dictionaries I had read. So it's just those two parts.
Okay.
Guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person that needs help the most gets the most constructive help.